Good day, sir. I am Shaiya Shane Ilyazar. So today I'm going to do my reaction video about the ethical issues in social media. Then let's open. Nakahanap na po ako ng video. So let's play. So this video po pala is it dives into privacy concerns surrounding social media platforms, including data breaches and the handling of users' information. And it also discusses how users can protect their personal data. So let's play.
So, you were born. Then you start living your life. Now you're entitled to your own social media profile. You're in. Welcome to your social media reality. Congratulations, you're 18 now. Do you want to know the other side of the story? Did you see the picture that was
By the way, this is a 4 minutes video.
taken and uploaded by your parents? This information was collected, analyzed, and may be sold by the social media to its affiliates and partners. Even before you are conscious of it, you start existing on the internet, and data starts being compiled about you to be used sometime later. Let's have a further look. The internet knows where you studied, even before you had the chance to enter that information in the online space. This may not bother you. Who cares where you studied? But what happens when you started your own social media activities? Social media platforms, websites and mobile applications collect, process and profile your data into statistics that are ready to be sold. By agreeing to the terms and conditions of a social media network, websites and mobile applications, you grant permissions to their owners to collect, process and sell personal details such as information you provide, uploaded data containing information regarding your geolocation, which can help people track you down, information that other people provide, information about your devices from which you have logged on to social media, your location, operating system and device settings, information about you visiting and using other websites which have integrated social media services. Even when you are not logged into your social media profile, these actors may provide information to social media. Information provided by social media's affiliates and partners. Information that the mobile application gathers from your phone. This data about you and millions of other users is utilized by companies. Actually, your likes, shares and posts reveal a lot about your personality. Companies modify their goods and services, considering your preferences revealed to them through an analysis of your online behavior. They use models for profiling so as to extract information about your habits that even you did not notice. They get insights on your preferences, sexual orientation, financial situation, social circle, political affiliation and religious beliefs. They even try to judge what your level of intelligence is. Your next employer may have access to such information and may already know more about you than you know about yourself. Under certain circumstances, this data may also be used by public authorities for deciding whether you are a threat to national security. You may or may not be okay with this, but the important part is being aware of the other side of the story. Privacy policies usually contain a lot of text, but do always read your privacy policy and adjust your privacy settings. You can reap the benefits of the digital world, but you should do it in a smart way and protect yourself from risks. If you want to know as much as I do and more about online privacy and data protection, check out http://engaged.mappingtheinternet.eu/en.
Okay, so hanggang dito lang po yung video na nahanap ko. So in this part of my video is I will do my analysis about the ethical issues presented, focusing on how social media platforms manage user data, discuss the risk users face in terms of privacy and data ownership, and provide my personal reaction and suggestions, solution or regulation to improve data protection. So at first, social media has become an integral part of our daily lives, with billions of users sharing personal moments, opinions, and more. However, while these platforms offer a convenient way to connect, they come with significant ethical concerns, especially surrounding privacy and data ownership. So today, we will explore the ethical issues, risk users face, and potential solutions to improve the way platforms manage and protect user data. So at first, let's talk about the ethical issues in social media in data management. Yeah. Social media platforms have access to vast amounts of user data, including personal information, browsing habits, and even private messages. Ethically, the question arises, how are these platforms managing this data? So many social media companies, including Facebook, Instagram, collect and monetize user data by selling it into advertisers. So this process is often buried in complex privacy policies that most users don't fully understand. The Cambridge Analytica scandal is a notable example, where Facebook allowed third-party apps to collect user data without explicit consent, which was later used for political purposes. So, ano pa? Another ethical issue is the lack of transparency in how data is used. Many platforms don't fully disclose how they use personal data or the extent to which they share it with third parties. Social media companies often reserve the right to change in terms of policies, meaning and policies meaning users may not be informed when new potentially invasive data practices are introduced. So from the ethical standpoint, this raises serious concerns about user consent, transparency, and autonomy. So the questions are users truly informed enough to give meaningful consent, or they are being exploited for the benefit or of corporate interests? So let's talk about the user's privacy and data ownership. The risk of users face in terms of privacy and data ownership are numerous and far-reaching. One of the biggest risks is data breaches. So kung saan yung mga hackers can gain access to personal information like email addresses, passwords, and even financial data. So breaches like those at Facebook and Twitter have exposed millions of users to identity theft and fraud. So kahit walang data breach, there is the constant threat of unauthorized data sharing. So users might not be aware that their data is being shared with advertisers or other third party without their explicit consent. So this lead to concerns over the loss of data ownership. So once the user upload information to a platform, they often lose control over how that data is used. And some social media companies effectively own the data users share and use it to profile users for targeted advertising, which in turn to which can lead to manipulation. And also, additionally, social media platforms have been criticized for employing surveillance like tactics such as tracking activity across other websites and apps. So this kind of monitoring, which is often done without the user's knowledge, raises privacy concerns and can lead to more personalized advertising but also more intrusive, potentially harmful targeting. So last is about my personal reaction naman, and I will give some solutions. So in my view po, the current situation is problematic because it places too much power in the hands of the platforms with too little accountability. So as users, um, we're often po sa unaware, hindi tayo aware minsan of how much information is being collected and how it's being used. So this lack of transparency is not only unethical, but it also leaves us vulnerable to privacy violations and manipulation. So, ano nga ba yung dapat nating gawin to improve this situation? What can be done to improve this situation? So, first, for me is greater transparency is essential. So, platforms should be required to clearly explain um, what data is being collected, how it's being used, and who it's being shared with. So this information should be presented in a way that is easy for users to understand. So rather than hidden in lengthy and complex privacy policies. So second is to strict about the regulations. So need to be put in place to protect our user data. The General Data Protection Regulation is a, in Europe is a good example of legislation that aims to give users more control over their data based on my research po. So it enforces strict consent requirements, data portability rights, and hefty fines of companies that fail to comply with privacy standards. So similar regulation should be implemented globally. The third one is there need to be push for user ownership of data. Users should have the right to access, delete, and control their data. And this could be achieved through stronger privacy tools on social media platforms, allowing users to have to have more control sa information nila and paano ito gamitin, ganun. And lastly po, syempre, dapat maging knowledgeable and maging knowledgeable tayo sa lahat ng gagawin natin because this is the key. Education is the key, sabi nga nila. Users need to be more informed about the risk of sharing personal data online and the importance of using privacy setting effectively. So, if people are better educated on the consequences of oversharing, magiging cautious tayo sa mga actions natin about sharing our datas, about what they post and who they share it with. So, ano pa? To wrap up, social media platforms present significant ethical challenges, particularly around the management and misuse of user data. So the risks to user privacy and data ownership are immense, with the data breaches, unauthorized sharing, surveillance being used for the few concerns. However, with the greater transparency, stricter regulations, yung mga nasabi kanina, and better education, we can move towards a digital environment where user data is respected and protected, and yun lang po. Thank you.